Moving back to the Duneland Athletic Conference here.
To the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Moving back to the Duneland Athletic Conference here on RSN.com video and Facebook Live. Jeremy Rainwater, the skipper of the Lake Central Indians, is joining us here. Over 300 career wins in his tenure here with the boys program, moving to the college ranks for a while and then coming back and giving back to the community again, not only as boys coach but also girls coach. But we're going to focus on the boys program right now. A season that had its ups and downs, Coach, against a very competitive schedule with the games, of course, down in Kentucky during that particular tournament. The always tough Duneland Athletic Conference, and then the great non-conference schedule as well. So give us an idea about the senior group that has moved on, their contributions to the program, and how you saw the whole campaign kind of shake out for the Indians.
You know, when we reflect back on last year, that given the schedule that we have, there's always going to be hills and valleys in that schedule. And you hope that by the end of the season you're peaking a little bit. And I thought the guys had done a really good job throughout the season of building momentum and playing pretty well. And then we got a little bit towards the end of the year, and you start getting nerves maybe from some of those inexperienced groups. They came on the heels of a really important group that had a lot of seniors that left, so they really didn't have maybe that postseason experience that they needed. And then in a big match against Munster, who played awful well in the match, we weren't able to get it done. But an awful special group. We're going to miss Ty Adams in the back, his physical size, and he's a gentle giant, so he's a big kid, but he's got a great heart. And you know, Tito was a good player for us as well. So Tyler Onick, very quiet as well, but very creative and on the ball. But yeah, there was a lot of seniors that have left us this year that you obviously miss, but then you see these guys a year later and they look more like men, and they kind of jump into those roles. And at Lake Central, it's, I don't want to say easy to forget sometimes the classes as they leave, but you have really good classes behind them, and that makes it easier.
I know you're a defensive first coach mentality, giving up only 16 goals on the year. You had to be very pleased with that aspect of things. Yeah,
we talk a lot tactically about defending, so it's not necessarily just our expectation from our, whether we're playing a back three or a back four. It really has to do with the entire team and how they play. And some of how we defend dictates on how we want to go forward against a particular team. And I think probably the thing I've seen the most from this particular group in the preseason or the summer, however you want to look at it, they have done a really good job of defending and putting us in great places of going forward. But then they've been kind of looking for answers maybe in the final third, and that's something that we're really going to have to focus on going into this season.
Taking a look, we'll kind of start from the top and then go back, because you've got a couple big shoes to fill with X up top, Rivera along with Nikola Bastajic, also Troy Hall, another senior leader up there. So tell us about that, about developing that assassin's mentality, the Finnish mentality that you need to have up top.
I know we're going to get into this season a little bit, and we're going to talk about adding some, the talent that we've added, but we have some freshman kids that have really come in above their age. We're going to put an Ethan Brewer on the kid that on the field. It's he's an awful special player, and physically he's already built like a junior or senior, and now he's starting to have to learn tactically how to play when everyone is equal to his size.
Right.
But we were at UIndy this year. He's done a really good job of doing that. So he does have that mentality. I do think going back to UIndy, while we were there, we explained to the kids, like, we do get the ball forward, we do get the ball in space, but we have to make a more concerted effort for our 8s, our 10s, our 6s sometimes to get in the box to, create those opportunities. And I think that has been a little bit of a stress, and the kids have reacted really well to it.
Yeah, getting that counter, especially when the defense is trying to get that ball out with your first wave, having those guys from the middle knowing when to push up, as you talked about there with those opportunities.
A lot of times we're seeing today differently than when I first started way back in, 98 or whatever, 97. We're seeing teams that are really comfortable about building out of the back. So now it becomes a bit more tactical, like, hey, if you're going to build out of the back, then we're going to let you build into these areas, and then we're going to try to bait you into playing this ball and winning it. But
right.
I've really, really been impressed with just the general soccer IQ of the incoming freshmen and the kids that we currently have on the roster.
Daniel Dorneau is going to join us here. He's a senior with a 3.9 GPA, student, scholar, athlete, as well as all-conference. David, talk about the balance between classroom and the pitch and how you're able to kind of keep that all in focus.
I mean, it's always different, like going from I got to focus on school at point aspect and then going to a soccer point where it's like I got to give it up my all. And, like, I would say it's different trying to balance both, but
Indiana Elite, how's that been able to help you with your skill sets developing there as you head into your senior season?
For Indiana Elite, sometimes I play center back, and looking for this upcoming season, basically I might play a new position playing center back, and I think it's really helped me to improve and evolve as a player.
How's that change going to affect you? Because that's you kind of take a little bit more of the offense, the glory part of the game. So you're going to be more of the unsung heroes back there. But as Coach talks about in his system, it's a vital component.
Yeah, because last season I played center mid, but now I'm playing center back, and it's definitely different. 100%. There's different aspects. I got to talk more on the field, and I get to see more on the field too. But I like to communicate with my teammates and show them what to do. Especially since there's 5 to 6 new freshmen, I have to talk and show them how to do it and make chemical reactions with everyone else.
How's the back line shaping up right now?
We still have stuff to work on, but I think it's going amazing so far.
George Karabatsis is also going to join us here, a 3.5 GPA, also all conference as well as all district. And George, talk about the experiences of the season. You get into the postseason against a very strong Munster team. What did you learn about that experience, and what can you use in that as a motivational tactic for this year?
It's definitely going to be a motivational tactic for next year, like vengeance and stuff as well. But I learned you can't stop being hungry, especially in the postseason. You can't be satisfied ever.
Right, no question about that. How are things shaping up for you as far as the midfield, and what role do you see Coach having you play at?
I see Coach having me play as a 10. Well, we have 2 10s with me and Ethan Terry, and I think it's been really well because I played with him last year, so we're really connecting very well.
What have you been working on as far as skill sets are concerned to kind of take your game to the next level in a very competitive conference?
I've been really working on trying to find pockets of space so I can get played through, so I can turn and face goal and kind of run at the defense with all 5 of us forward, wingers included.
David, who's opened your eyes in camp? Somebody that you saw and said, "Whoa, man, that's a move that certainly can help us in the back."
I would say it's Caden Vickery without a doubt. The way he moves on and off the ball, it's really special.
Yeah, he was on the right side last year for you in the postseason, and now he's another one of the seniors. How about you, George? Who have you seen that's kind of opened eyes a little bit?
I've seen actually many. Ethan Terry's been really great, and also Alex Olivania has been very good in the middle as a 6.
Yeah, no question about that soccer line for sure with that family. So, David, as you take a look at the schedule, I know Coach is going to tell you to play every game one at a time, but who are you looking at to say, you know what, I got to pick my game up one level
Definitely
here?
going to be Munster, without a doubt.
Yeah, I know that's a non-conference game, but it's certainly a big rivalry. How about you, George?
Same thing, Munster and Crown Point.
Yep, those two for sure. No question about that. So, well, Coach, certainly great leadership here with these 2 young men. Talk a little bit about the staff, who you got coming back, and who's going to help as far as you to be able to delegate some of those things.
Really, the staff stays the same. We're blessed. Coach Nestricht, who's come from the Griffith program, that's really started the Griffith program, he works with a lot of our younger players. Ryan Schweitzer, who's a guy that's behind the scenes that's doing a lot of our data, he's bringing in our GPS stats. He's doing stuff in Huddle. And then obviously Eric Garrick has been there, for the last few years and knowing the tradition and being part of it. And he brings such a high soccer IQ again to it. But he also is an example for the kids. You know what I mean? He can be on the field. He can move the ball. He can also show them what work rate looks like. And his dedication, I think, is something that spills over. Eric Graves has been there since the beginning, you know what I mean? So it's another alumni that's come back. It's really important. He does a lot of our weight room stuff in the off season, and he's really good. And then Jeff Fairburn, who's come over from Maryville, who was a head coach for years, and he coached at Crown Point as well. But just that, the entire staff allows me the flexibility to do other things at times and maybe have specific focuses. And at the end of the day, it's not really a head coach necessarily situation. It's 5 of us all on the same mission, and it really builds a family, or it starts helping them understand what family's like.
Single class soccer champion, the last one, right? Lake Central High School.
Yeah. We'll always have that belt, which is nice. I can't wait until we start talking about the next one. But that was an awful special day for us.
Thanks again, Coach. Appreciate it. I know you're going to be staying on the set here, so let's go ahead and take a quick time out. We'll come back and we'll visit with the girls program at Lake Central High School. We'll do so after a minute timeout. We are right here live from Crown Point, Indiana on RSN.com video, Facebook Live, and Regional Radio Sports.
Today's broadcast on the IHSAA Champions Network is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.